Today we are reviewing the Pakt One Travel Backpack 35 litre. You can definitely feel that rubbing on the neck. Now it's easy to kind of wipe down and maintain. Welcome to Gear by Women. This channel answers all your questions in one place, from airline carry-on and personal item tests, to fit checks built for women's bodies, to full water resistant tests. We do all the work so that you can decide if a product is right for you. If this is something you are interested in and you want to support our channel and you're thinking about getting yourself a cheeky One Travel Backpack, all we ask is that you use the first link in the description to purchase your items. As a wee disclaimer, this backpack was sent out for review, but by no means does that hinder my honest opinion, because honesty is what you get regardless. Okay, let's get cracking on with the summary. If you do fancy opting for the 45 litre, you can go ahead and do that. This is the 35 litre, priced at $325 US. For the 45 litre, it is priced at $345 US. This is version 3 from them, and they've made some updates that are definitely noteworthy of. They've got the premium non-cling fabric, so whereas before, my dog's hair, my hair and everything would have stuck to this, not anymore. They have also adjusted the whole kind of back system where you can adjust the torso position so you can adjust it to your own fit, and you know, it's going to be then suitable for different wide range of body types, not just one person. We can all experience a good fit with this backpack. They have also started from a lighter weight. So the previous one was 4.1 pounds. Now this is down to 3.6 pounds as a starting weight. So what they've gone and done is created this travel system. So basically, you'll find out throughout moments, which we'll get into when we get into the features, where you can add on. So you can add on packing cubes, you can add on their kind of tech pouches and things. There's going to be different moments of daisy chains. There's external straps and loopholes here for you to attach to as well. And also they have brought out a new kind of mode series too. The shoulder bag and the convertible bag 14 litre is what slips so nicely into the back, which we'll get into when we get into the features. The 35 litre expands, so you do have an expansion on the 30 litre if you do wish to use that, and that will expand up to 40 litres. As mentioned, it does start at a starting weight of 3.6 pounds, but with the hip belt and sternum strap, it does go up to 3.9 pounds. You've got 48 by 30 by 23 in centimetres, and it is all made with recycled nylon, so it is great for, as mentioned, kind of keeping it clean, wiping it down, rather than the older styles where everything was kind of sticking to it and you had to maintain it with like a lint roll. I've always loved Pakt's backpacks. Like, if I could put a color system into a backpack, they have nailed it in terms of like the colors, and they're aesthetically kind of pleasing bags. The only issues that I had, and I'm saying had because now they've kind of changed that and updated that with the new mode kind of system, and also with this backpack here, was the hair and dust magnet and also the back system, which we'll get into a bit more in the fit check. Finding a backpack that actually fits a woman's body can be way harder than it should be. If straps dig in, the bag looks too bulky, it sits too low or high, it's usually because the fit isn't right. We made a simple guide that shows you exactly how to choose the right size, shape and style so it feels comfortable and looks great. And guess what? It's totally free. All you gotta do is click the link below to get your guide today. Pakt do offer lifetime guarantee. They also offer repacked for US customers. Now that is where you could purchase used gear, which I thought was a lovely touch and something worth mentioning, but it is only available for US customers, so something to think about. And if you do want to know more in terms of shipping, where they ship to and their returns policies, then definitely use the first link in the description to find out more. Okay, let's get cracking on with the features. Okay, for the branding here, we just have a little bit on the front here, which is really nice for anti-theft purposes. I really love when a brand doesn't go do all over the bag, so keeping it quite simple here on the front, and that's pretty much it. You'll just find it here on the straps as well. So starting off externally here, we've got one kind of works like this handle, and then not on this side, one at the bottom and then one at the top, with sufficient padding here on the top and on the bottom. A little bit thinner here, obviously on the side, but really just helping you grab the bag from overhead, under the seat, or if you are taking it off the trolley sleeve or anything like that, then you have an easy way to kind of maneuver the bag from different points. On this side, so we have our handles here. So on the other side, we've got our water bottle compartment here. Now, a lot of stretch for this, so it does fit bigger water bottles, which I absolutely love and adore. I'm able to fit in my 1 litre in there, even when it is fully packed as well. And another feature I have enjoyed is this little security here. So what you can do is, might as well just show you instead of talking at you. This is the 1 litre, so you'll be able to see a bit better how that looks whenever we do start packing out the bag. You can fit that in, say it is a bigger or even a smaller item, then you just kind of tie this around it and secure it a bit better around the product, so you're not kind of fearful of it falling out. When I took it away as well, I was shoving a lot in the car, and I did have a worry that this might have got left behind, but with this, it was able to just kind of keep it in there and know that it was grand. You've got a little bit of mesh here as well, just to keep that nice and tidy and in with the look. Obviously, it doesn't look like much here when the bag isn't fully packed. So again, we will be showing you that when it is. You can tuck that away when it's not in use. And as mentioned, plenty of space for that. You'll find on the front 1, 2, 3, 4 external loopholes. If you did want to attach to this bag, then you can, compatible with their accessories as well. Just depending on how you pack your bag. If you like external features attached to it, then you can go ahead and do that. One of my favorite things about Pakt is this specific feature. I think it is really, really subtle, but really, really effective, and something that I definitely appreciate with a backpack, and they implement this really, really well. So in here, you're going to find 1, 2, 3, and 4 moments here. So in those little moments on both sides, so identical on both sides, is your external kind of straps here. Now what this does and means is that you see those lips that we were talking about earlier. If you had your own straps or anything, you could attach to this, but what we've got is this moment. Clip that in. Same for the other side, clip it in. What you've got here is external straps, okay? So if you never want to see them again, then you have the range to kind of stow it away, which I absolutely love. But if you're out and about and say you're thinking to yourself, oh God, I love that jacket, or it's getting too hot, or oh, I really want to attach my tripod here, then you've got the ability to do that with these external straps as well. Acting also, if you wanted to kind of compress the bag in, obviously not as effective, like you might want a thicker kind of strap for that to really get the benefit of it, but really it is just to add to this backpack. So just as a wee example, love to put my tripod on the outside. Obviously, again, I will show you this when it is packed up so you can get a better idea. But say you thought to yourself, yep, I'm going to strap that in, then you could do that. Okay, and you've got that on both sides. The top here, a little moment for hanging the bag if you wish as well. We're going to start off with the front here. So we've got a bottom pocket underneath this little flap. It is noted that all the zips here are kind of finished with this little custom pillar to kind of match the external features as well. The zips themselves aren't coded, just something to note under this flap. Little zip. And then in here is just a little bottom pocket. Now in there is just space, okay? Just easy for you to kind of pack the things that you might want out of the bag first. Again, you'll be able to see a bit better how that pocket feels and fits when we start packing out the bag and the effectiveness of that. This kind of material, and it's just space in there. Kind of hidden as well if you wanted to tuck it away. So moving on to this top pocket here, a little moon shape. This becomes like your little organization pocket. You've got a few features that we'll love to highlight here. Now it doesn't like open in terms of like a gust on each side, but you don't really need it. But the pocket runs right down to here, so meeting that second pocket like so. We've got our first pocket here, which is a mesh pocket. Lovely. The material is absolutely stunning on the inside as well, really soft. In here, nice little mesh top grabbing pocket, and this is where your sewing in key tether is. Touch your keys in there, plop them in there, plop other bits and bobs in there as well. Then we've got a mesh bigger pocket here with a little bit of stretch on it. We've got 1, 2, 3 kind of pen holes, and I love the fact that there actually is space. Some brands just make them where like it's half this size and you're trying to squeeze your thick pen in there. So that is nice, and a nice little bit of space for organization. Then you have this pocket here. Now what is great about this pocket is a little bit of security here. I don't know if you'll be able to see this little zip. If you open this up, this is where you can place your air tag for your bag. So discreet in there, and then you can use the rest of the pocket. Then next is a little magnetic closed pocket. Just a little bit of space there for you. If you're wondering a wee size, that's what we love to do here. Obviously the zip runs right up to 8, but your best bet's probably 7.5 for that one. And then across, ooh, your cutoff point's about 10. Just for a little bit of reference on that little pocket. Obviously it doesn't run right down, it stops. But a nice little bit of organization here that we've got going on. Nothing too overdone. This is something that I can actually use without feeling like I need to fill the space. So closing that. Then with this backpack, the kind of idea with it is to have your one bag travel. Obviously you can go up in the liters if you want to go for the 35 liter. So the way they've kind of made this is that it is accessible for on the go. You've got multiple ways into the bag, so you don't have to open up the full kind of suitcasey style opening. Okay, so they've designed it that you've got quicker access on the go. So a few things to kind of highlight here. So from your organization pocket, you've got this second pocket, right? Now from this second pocket, this is where it will lead you into the main compartment. Again, with this kind of quick and easy access to your products. So say when we get into it, you'll see this lovely little daisy chain, right? And say you've got one of their pouches and you've placed like tech at the top and you've looked it through here, then you've got quick and easy access to that as well. Or if you pack it in such a way where your jacket is at the top and you need to just grab that from maybe the overhead bin, then that's how it is suitable. Closing that. And then from that, so organizer, kind of top grabbing to the main compartment, we've got the opening of the actual bag. So if we've got our straps in, kind of works like a little bit of anti-theft for that. Like so. So if I do this, you'll find these double zips. So if you have those straps in, then it can kind of create a little bit of anti-theft for you. If you wanted to and you had your own lock, the zips themselves aren't lockable in terms of like the zip setup, but you could feed through a smaller lock here if you wish, or even up at the top too, just depending on what you fancy. But you can of course maneuver this around with your double zip. But the point is to open this up. This side is your mesh pocket. So when we came in from the top here, that's where it was leading us into there. So something to note, you can open this up, create yourself a little bit of organization. Again, you can pack up the bag with packing cubes, you can pack up the bag with just clothes. Just depends on what you fancy and what you get from your backpack. The daisy chain itself here, making it really easy to add on. Create organization if you wish, or just use the space. Normally just me, I will just pack clothes. I'm getting a bit more into packing cubes. I think they are definitely beneficial for especially longer travel. If you are using this for a one bag travel, then you'll definitely get more into your space. And that is there. So one side, kind of because of the mesh, obviously you don't have like compression straps and things like that, but the mesh kind of works really well in compressing like your clothing and stuff. I'll show you once we start packing it out. It's pretty easier then for you to kind of see what way you kind of want to pack it to, and just give you a little bit of a visualization. On this side then, so they've created and designed this to give you the ultimate protection for your laptop compartment. Also, again, for easy kind of access, if we bring the bag back up here, you can grab your laptop from the top without opening the main compartment. So again, just making it super easy for you on the go. Let me close this. We'll get into that pocket in a wee second. So they've created a false bottom as well for your laptop compartment. When you're setting down the bag, you don't have to worry about that clanking onto the ground. You're going to be absolutely grand, and it is well padded in here too. So you've got a little hood here. So Depending on your laptop and depending on what you kind of want to get in there, it might feel a little bit awkward. I'll be able to give you a measurement of this pocket and then show you a laptop in there. So the pocket itself runs up to just about, I'd say about 16.5. Obviously you have to go in on the inside. Across, I think the end is about, is it? About 9.5, 10. Fits up to 16-inch laptops. Now this is a 15-inch MacBook Pro 2017, just to give you a little bit of a visualization on that. Fire her in. You've still got plenty of room then for the 16-inch as well. As mentioned, you've got your false bottom, so the laptop ends here. So a good bit of suspension there for you. And then really good protection. And also if you're packing up the bag in here with clothing and you're closing this off, then again you are creating a really nice protection for your laptop. So if we take her out and we go into this pocket, opening up the little zip, then we have more space for you to kind of pack up with. What is important to note is that this is a 35 litre, but we can expand it open. So if you want to kind of see what that looks like, just for a little bit of reference, we can open up this space and give ourselves a little bit of room, just depending on who you're flying with and the kind of restrictions on that. Usually for me anyways, for more budget friendly airlines, the 35 litre is what we keep it to. But if you're going for more generous airlines, such as American Airlines, then you have a little bit more of a wiggle room in that. Now, one of my favorite pockets is a wee secret pocket here in the back, which is RFID blocking. This is where you can place in your cards, passports, anything that you might want a little bit of protection for. Again, you can come from the top, work your way in and grab that yourself. But it just offers a little bit of security for you in the back, and it can be discreet in that. And then the rest is just space for you to pack up, whether that's with packing cubes or just firing in all your clothes, depends on what you fancy. Closing this, then as mentioned, we just want to give you a little bit of a highlight here on this back pocket, which is your extension. Again, the zips, you could find a way for the other ones as well. If you did want to find a way of locking them, there is a way of working through that with these kind of loopholes too. So although not highlighted in that sense, you can still figure out a way of doing that. So this one, if you open this like so, that gives you your little bit of extension. Okay, and then you might be wondering to yourself, well, there's a pocket here. So what you can do is, in here, you can use this space however the hell you want, right? You can pack in another laptop, which obviously just being aware there isn't a false bottom here. You can pack in books, whatever you want. But the idea is, with this whole new system that they've kind of brought out, is to attach the Mode Comfortable 14 litre bag in here. And I think it's also compatible with their new shoulder bag as well. So the idea is that, say I'm taking this bag or even the 45 litre, and I want another bag with me, because this is going to be my one bag travel. But when I set this down, I'd love to have a wee touristy bag or an active bag or something that I could use as a personal item. So say this is going in the overhead locker and you want to just take out everything you have in one bag, then what they've done is, if we have a look at this one, you can place that in the back. You're going to the airport, you're putting this in the overhead locker. You don't want to go through the faff of getting everything out because you don't know where you place things, yada yada. You can take this bad boy out and place this under the seat in front of you, obviously depending on what airlines you are going for. But that's kind of for that space too, if you are opening that extension up, just depending on how you want. And if you do want to add that, obviously you don't have to, but the space is there for, again, just making this the best kind of one bag travel so far, I would definitely say, in terms of getting the most out of the bag. they've done a really good job on that. So moving on to the toughest critiqued feature for me, definitely, is something that I will highlight a bit more in the fit check. So definitely worth checking that bit of the video out because, yeah, this is where it matters most to me personally anyways. Yes, we can have all these fun features, but if it's uncomfortable, then that all just goes out the window. So what they've kind of updated here is exactly what a one bag travel needs. This is exactly the kind of system that needs to be implemented for ultimate comfort and for everyone to have a range to fit a bag to their needs, because not everyone's going to be 6 foot, not everyone's going to be broad shoulders, not everyone's going to be this and that. So we're all different in that sense. So it's nice to have a little bit of range. Now you're asking me, what have they done? We've got our load lifters here. That will give you the ultimate kind of fit for you already. But also they have implemented this. So what you can do is take this out. I've got it in my position, how I like it. You can take it out and adjust it. Adjust the height of it and adjust the system, which is super duper handy and super duper effective. Definitely really enjoyed this. And again, we will get into that a bit more in the fit check. You have this magnetic close, you might see at the back, because you also have the ability to take off the straps here like so and stow them away like so. Just depending, if you're not using the stowaway straps, you can use that wee pocket for documents, anything that you might want to secretly secure, but obviously just being aware that it is just a magnetic close. The straps themselves, we've got this padding, fairly rigid in that. The system here, got a little loophole. Now, just personal preference, I'm not saying that it isn't something I have enjoyed, but personal preference is the fact that I do like it rotational. The only reason I do like it rotational is something because I have injuries to my hands and things. So see things like this, trying to get this out or trying to get that out, that's something that might feel fine for someone else. For me, that is really hard to do, kind of like fine motor skills with my injuries. So trying to adjust that and all with this kind of system becomes kind of impossible. So I do prefer it to kind of be rotational, so it's easy and accessible for me. Click close, little dangle stopper. We've got a little loophole on the other side as well, fairly easy to adjust. Then if we bring it on to the back here, we've got our luggage pass through, the same pattern that we have on our straps we have on our back, and we've also got it here on the hip and waist belt. That will depend on where it sits on you. Dangle stoppers, lovely. This is also removable by an elastic, not elastic, what do you call it, a Velcro. All that to put it back in again because I'm going to be showing you. So you can remove it if you want. That is up to you. I keep it on. So that is that nice pattern. There is no pockets or anything on that. That's just to give you the ultimate support for this whole kind of system. So that is that. Let's go ahead and pack her on up. So I did take her away for a couple of days now, I'm gonna say. I did just chuck everything in because I was low-key in a rush, so it made it really great for chucking things in. So now I'm going to show you what you can get in there. I'm gonna keep it to the 35 litre. You can of course open up that expansion if you wish. Passport in there, don't mind if I do. If you wanted to, you can use packing cubes. These are size women's UK 6 shoes. I'm gonna put my makeup bag. I'm gonna go chargers, laptop. Just keep you like that for a second. So we're gonna put our laptop on the top. MacBook Pro. Just gonna shove this jumper in here. Closing this. These are like lighter trousers. 3 tops. Let's go. 3 pairs of leggings, jeans, 2 gym tops, hairspray and moisturizer. Still got space. I want to close this off. If you want to prioritize this pocket first, then you could do that because it does get a little bit tight. iPhone. I need my phone charger in here. I need my cards and of course my Nintendo DS. Closing that. Obviously here, this becomes a little bit tight. Got a power bank and cable at the front. Obviously you can come from the back and open up that expansion if you want, or if you want to fire in your backpack, then you have to kind of prioritize the space where whatever you've got in this backpack can actually fit in the back, because this backpack is not packed out and it fits in. So you could take that as an extra like little item, so say like so, but if you have it packed out, then you'll have to kind of like prioritize what you're going to put in the main compartment, because it ain't going to work. But if you wanted to, you could place that bag in there for using as your wee everyday carry when you arrive at your destination. I'm going to keep this closed for now. I'm going to feed through my tripod. Space for our 1 litre to fit in, and as mentioned, you can kind of secure that in a bit better. So that is that all packed up. Let me give you a weight. A little device, by the way. That's about 11 kg. Now that is a lot to be having on your back. You obviously don't have to pack it out that much, but just for a little bit of reference. Sorry, this is where I interrupt and just say, if you do happen to have a wee gander on the website of the products we are reviewing, then we would be so grateful if you could use our links below. This is no extra cost to you, and it just helps us as a team and growing our channel. What's that? Oh, you would like me to introduce you to the team so you can see who you're helping out? No bother, let's go. First up, we have our editor, Orla, our outreach manager, Orla. Oh, there is our script writer, she's shy. She's called Orla. Then we have this sexy lady for thumbnails. The main star of our reviews is the reviewer herself, Orla. And last but not least, the woman who does it all. Her name is kind of like Lorla, but it's Orla. So don't forget to click that first link to purchase your item. Okay, time for a fit check, comfortability, and see how this feels and looks on the female body. Okay guys, this is what the backpack looks like on me. For reference, I am 5'6". I did have this backpack with me for a wee trip away, and I decided to kind of test it out by, there's like this big lake, to take it around that to see the comfort for longer periods of time when it is like packed out and things. And I have to say, it's really nice to get those load lifters in. You can adjust the kind of whole system in the back. You've got your nice little hip waist belt depending on where it's sitting on you. You can pull in the straps that are comfortable to the body, so it kind of curves around. Really nice. No issues in terms of comfort and the support in that. The only thing I will say is I was wearing a jacket for most of the trip, so I wasn't feeling it. But as of now, like with a thinner top, you can definitely feel that rubbing on the neck, depending on how high you actually want your straps. Obviously, you can kind of adjust that to, you know, your own fit yourself. But I do feel the rubbing, that hence why my jumper is up here. But otherwise, this is it at its lowest kind of form. I'm going to show you with the extension open, just to give you a little bit of a rough idea as to what that looks like on me. I prefer it closed because it doesn't feel too overwhelming. Obviously, I feel for female bodies, when you start going bigger in liters, it literally looks like... That's it with the extension open, just for a little bit of reference. I did feel a little bit of relief there when I adjusted the sternum strap in terms of the digging, so that might help you as well. If you just kind of let that loose just a tiny bit, then it kind of makes more of a wiggle room rather than that shoving right up against your neck. But yeah, otherwise a really, really nice, well put together back system, so praise be for that. Definitely comfortable and well done. Yeah, it's great because then you can just adjust it to how you want to fit it, rather than it being one kind of style and no room for adjusting. So for a wee airline test, now this is, for me anyways, where it gets complicated, because I gotta lift this yawn over my head into this box. This is the replica of EasyJet, a really good starting base for you to work with your own airline. So just take it and then use it up against wherever and whoever you're flying with. We want to know is it gonna fit as a carry-on? I'm gonna keep it at 35 litres and judge it that way and be able to tell you a bit more if we do expand it up. I'll just roll ahead to there because the efforts of me trying to get this in with you watching me. So with the 35 litre, I'm going to put up the measurements of EasyJet and the measurements of the bags, and you can kind of weigh that with yourself. Because you do have flexibility with this bag, you could go ahead and shove it on in. Just being careful of your side compartments. I'll probably take out what you have in there so it's less, I guess, what's the word, less? Because you can pick a day and nobody gives a crap if you're coming up and rocking up with a bigger bag, but some days they do and some days they check. So if you have less of a bulk, is what I'm trying to say, then maybe they're not likely to ask you, Orla. For a water test, this is absolutely grand for water weather resistance. It's great for a heavy downpour and you're running for shelter. It's obviously not submergible or anything like that, but it'll do enough in keeping your belongings dry while you're, that's me running, for shelter. Okay, time for some pros and cons. The biggest pro for me is definitely the back system, just making that a bit more accessible. Also, another one is just, now it's easy to kind of wipe down and maintain rather than all my hair sticking to it and all the dust sticking to it. I absolutely adore the attention to detail. For a one bag travel, they have absolutely nailed it in terms of giving you those little moments if you did want to take out your external straps, add to this bag. Also being compatible with their other backpacks as well, just makes it a really nice, suitable system, I would say. And me personally, their color options are to die for. I feel like a rock star wearing this. I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm stylish. I am just more of a fan of like a water weather resistant finish to my kind of one bag travel in terms of like coating zips and things like that, but that's just a personal preference. And also for travel purposes, like I would have loved to have had the inbuilt lockable zips where you can still lock these with your own wee lock. I would have loved like the little loop to kind of place through. And also in keeping in line with like lockable zips and the kind of travel friendly, we do have the secret pocket within the main compartment, but I would have loved a wee secret pocket in the back system. Do let me know below your pros and cons, what you like, what you don't like about this latest version. I love to know below. So that is the end of our review. We hope you enjoyed, and if you do happen to have a wee gander over on their website and you're thinking to yourself, yes, version 3 is a bit of me, I want this, then literally, we'd be forever grateful if you could use our links below. It's the first link. You just click on that bad boy and then make your purchase, and I'll be forever grateful. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.